Hello everyone. I thank you for being part of this lesson. In our previous lesson, we discussed the plot of the novel Unexpected Joy at Dawn. And in case you haven't watched the video, please check the channel. It is there. We discuss in detail the plot and the chapter by chapter analysis of the novel. Today we are going to be looking at the characters in the novel. We have a handful of characters, about 11 or 12 of them we are going to be discussing today. And please remember that we discussed that the novel is about the two major characters, Moses Nitaki and Mama Orojo, who were forced to leave Ghana because of the immigrant policy at, I think, in 1969. So we are going to be looking at the characters one after another. And the first one we are going to be discussing today is Moses Nitaki. Moses Nitaki is a young university graduate. We were told he studied accounting and worked as an assistant manager at the Expense Bank. He is born Ghanaian, as all record of him bear his Ghanaian name, but the 3 tribal mark on his cheek give him away as a Nigerian, if they are as a Nigerian from probably the Yoruba tribe. Please note that I'm not going to be reading what is on the screen exactly. I'm going to be explaining, so you listen to what I'm going to say, and at the same time you read what is on the screen. So we saw that Moses Nitaki is married to Masa, and incident in the novel portray him as a caring, loving, and faithful husband. For instance, he refused to have sexual intercourse with Linda, even when she shows herself, when she throws herself at him. So we saw that Nee was separated from his family, who returns to Nigeria 15 years ago, after the Ghanaian government asked all aliens to leave the country. We discussed it in the plot of the novel that whoever bears the Ghanaian name, but it cannot be traced to any ethnic tribe in Ghana at that time, will be asked to leave Ghana. And so the family of Moses also as well have to return to Nigeria. So his both parents died, that is, Moses' both parents died on their journey to Nigeria, while Mama Orojo, his sister, is his only surviving relative. So we saw that his double identity makes him live in fear in Ghana. And when his ailing wife Masa died on their way to get spiritual healing, he decided to return to Nigeria to reunite with his sister, Mama Orojo. So we saw that Nee is also a hardworking young man that confronts harsh economic reality by engaging in part-time job to offset its effect on his salary as an assistant manager. So even when he crosses to Nigeria, he picks up numerous menial jobs to sustain himself. And since the time he arrived in Nigeria was when the Nigerian government has asked the alien to vacate the country. So he constantly faced the difficulty of his double identity, and his inability to speak any of Nigerian language makes him always to be seen as a Ghanaian. So you could see the double tragedy that Moses was facing. Even though he was a hardworking Nigerian or a hardworking character, his double identity, because he was not able to speak Yoruba language or any other Nigerian language, he was termed as a Ghanaian. And then in Ghana also, even though he bears Ghanaian name, he does not have any link to any ethnic group in Ghana, so he was regarded as Nigerian. So he was neither here nor there. He was not accepted anywhere. He was not accepted in Ghana. He was not accepted in Nigeria. So Nee is one of the protagonists that joined the two parallel stories in Unexpected Joy at Dawn. So being a crucial character, his accidental appearance before his sister while he was being pursued as a suspected criminal bring about the resolution of the central conflict in the novel, when he had a encounter with Mama Orojo and then the Mama Orojo's lover Joe. So another character we are going to be discussing is Mama Orojo. Who is Mama Orojo in the novel and what is her roles? So from the study of the novel, we realize that Mama Orojo is the only surviving relative of Moses Taki. She relocated to Nigeria with their parents when the Ghanaian government asked all aliens to leave their country, leaving Moses behind. Unfortunately for her, both parents, that is the father and the mother, died on the road to Nigeria. And note that they did not come through aircraft, it was through road. So we saw that Mama Orojo is a single lady who faced a lot of difficulties settling in Nigeria after she lost her parents on their way to Nigeria. Against all odds, we saw that she built her business and becomes very prosperous and influential with a thriving construction company and a confectionery store. So she is a believer and an active member of the Amen Christi Church and participates in the church evangelism outreach. So Mama Orojo's first journey to Ghana in search of her brother Moses Taki was not successful at all on her primary purpose to Ghana. So we saw that she met Joboye, who introduces her gold business and later become her husband. So we saw that Mama Orojo is a brave and is very brave, and then display her courageous way when she jumped down from the burning house to save a baby during the religious riot at Egba, started by the sunset. So Mama becomes elated when she accidentally met her brother, who she had embarked on a 2 times journey to Ghana in search of him right in her compound. So it was a joyful reunion between Mama Orojo and Moses Taki. Then another major character in the novel is Masa Awoshika. Who is Masa Awoshika? She is Ni's ailing wife, whose sickness appears to be intractable and even incurable. She is just 22 years, but she is bedridden till her death on their way to get spiritual healing at God's is beyond science native spiritual home. So we saw that Masa had been an intimate friend to Ni from their school days, and this explained the reason Ni remained faithful to her when she was alive and even when she dies. She is a good and loving wife. She cares about her husband's financial and psychological well-being, and at the same time, being a firm believer in the philosophy of Pan-Africanism, Masa believes Africa is home for all Africans. That when she sees that her husband is worried about the fate of aliens in Ghana, she tries to calm him down and encourages him to stay in Ghana. So a very young lady, beautiful, faithful to her husband, and then loving, but unfortunately she was taken away to the great beyond by sickness. Then we have Joboye. Who is Joboye in the novel? We are told that Joboye is also known as Orukaku. That is another of his name, Orukaku. He is 30 years old and a father of 2 children from 2 women whose family were not willing to encourage these women to be joined with him legally. So you could see that he was not as innocent as Mama Orojo as well. So we saw that Joe had his difficulty. He had a lot of difficulty in the life. First, he was once an apprentice to a tailor at Oda. When his master closed down the shop, he left for the city, where he ended up becoming an illegal gold mining business with his friend Tali O. So Joe became independent from Billy, the man that introduces him to the illegal mining business. After like a month on the job, he was introduced to Mama Orojo by a police corporal at his office on the 6th floor of the Beeman building. So afterward, Joe became a reliable friend to Mama Orojo, and then his unflinching support to Mama Orojo on her trip to Ghana is commendable. So he proposes to Mama Orojo with a gold ring. And guess what happened? Mama Orojo accepted the proposal, and their journey of love began from that moment. Okay, now we have another one, Aaron Suru. I will be fast because of time. Aaron Suru is also a significant character in the novel. Aaron is a young, brilliant scientist, and the brain behind the ant-he brick. He has a PhD and a diploma in project management. He is a former lecturer at the University of Ghana, where he received a certificate of honor. He met Moses when he first visited Express Bank to seek financial support for his project. However, all he presented didn't give out loan, because Ghana was facing a lot of financial crisis at that time. There was economic meltdown. So Ni tried to help, yet the bank denied him the loan. He leaves Ghana out of the frustration he encountered at the bank. He later meets Ni again at the border when they were trying to illegally cross the border to Nigeria. Aaron dies when he falls from the unexpected building, when they were running from people who had mistaken him and Moses as robbers. Then we have other characters in the novel, like Ibuk. Who is Ibuk in the novel? He is a friend of Mama Orojo. She is a member of the Eme Christi Church and a regular partner to Mama on evangelism mission. She is in support of Mama's decision to marry Joe, but she was not allowed to vote. She died during the religious riot in Negba, Lagos. Then another character in the novel is Tom Monday. Tom Monday is a widower who resides in Ilere. We had an encounter with him when Mama and Ibuk had gone to evangelize to him at his residence. He secretly admires Mama, and when he finally proposed to her, it was rather too late. He played a major importance towards the resolution of the story because he was the one who hinted me that he looks like he had befriended, and also tell him that Mama lives at Agyei. So, no, he was the one that brought about the issue of resolution in the novel, because he almost connected Moses to Mama Orojo. Then another character is Talio. Talio is Joe's intimate friend and a partner in their illegal gold mining business. He also known as Daga Talio. His name also is known as Daga. So Talio is a hardened criminal that has a persistent record of being wanted on the police list, but he keeps changing identity from one crime to another. He met his doom on their last illegal mining trip. This deadly trip almost claimed Joe's life too, but it was a turning point for him to turn a new leaf. But Talio never had that opportunity. He was caught and he died. Then another major character in the novel is Palio. Palio is a ruthless immigration officer. He is in charge of other immigration recruits whose job description is to put aliens in check. He arrested Ni and Neron and takes them to Ilere for them to work on his farm. His wife died in the fire accident during a religious riot at Egba, Lagos, but his child was saved through Mama Orojo's heroic response. Now, Mama Orojo was very, very proactive in the way he saved the child of Palio. Now, another one in the novel which I can say is Linda. Who is Linda in the novel? Linda is Nitaki's junior colleague at Express Bank. She is one of the two typists in the bank. She is particularly interested in Nitaki because of his Nigerian nationality. She banks on this as a channel to get into Nigeria and book a flight to England to reunite with her husband. She is ready to make any sacrifice to achieve this, even throwing herself on Nitaki, on Moses Taki, but Moses was faithful to her host, to his wife, and refused to have any sexual affair with Linda. And we have another one, which is Mashak. And the Mashak is also Mashak is another of the endless list of Ghanaians forced out of Ghana by the revolutionary government. One of the three Ghanaian ladies, Nitaki, and his friend meet in Nigeria. So she prostitutes her body to make ends meet. Her mother's situation in Cote d'Ivoire is not any different. Her mother also was a prostitute in Cote d'Ivoire. And then in Nitaki, she sees hope of settling down into matrimony. She's often irritated when Nitaki mistakes her for Masa. And his dead, no, Masa was the dead wife of Nitaki. So she dies later, and after a brief disagreement with Nitaki. So on morality, obviously. So suggestively, she committed a suicide. If you can say that, you are not wrong. So a catastrophic knee hold himself responsible for the death of Mashak. Now we have another character in the novel, which is Headmaster. Though I did not include Headmaster in the list here, but you can listen to my explanation of a Headmaster. He is a retired educationist from the government service. He runs a remedial school for students who want to improve upon their O and A level grade. So the school runs in the afternoon. So why he can pick a teaching job on some days after his banking job? So it was in the school that Moses Taki was doing a part-time job to support himself because of the economic wars that betide Ghana at that time. So you can see that this novel was set in the 1960s to 1970s. Currently now in 2022, Ghana is still facing a lot of economic crisis. Currently now in this 2022, that almost the currency of Ghana is becoming so worthless, and then there were a lot of high standard of living, hunger, and even the government could not even help. So we could see that from things fall apart, where we have a lot of corruption and economic meltdown in Ghana, to this unexpected joy at dawn, to even in 2022, Ghana is still experiencing a lot of corruption and economic challenges. So in our next lecture, we are going to be discussing the major themes in the novel. And even if you listen to the first lecture and this lecture, even you can be able to point out some of the themes in the novel as by yourself. For instance, you can say maybe the theme of death, which is Masa, the themes of migration, earlier, the themes of economic hardship, prostitution, and several other are part of the major themes in the novel. We are going to be discussing them very soon. Make sure you also subscribe so that you will get notified when the new the video on the themes is uploaded. Thank you and have a blessed day.